nigger cat. Now the antibiotics on my hand. Hopefully it won't get infected. Alright, let's see if we can fucking kick the living... Well, its name.
Honestly, I didn't expect this deck to be this good, so...
It's Galaxy Eyes.
Honestly, I didn't base it around Galaxy Eyes.
What, Nessa? No.
Nope.
He's been busy on Borderlands, and then he downloaded Yu-Gi-Oh off my account, and now he's trying to get enough cards to where we can start basically slugging each other. Nope, don't worry, I'm live streaming this. Well, more like remade. Had to fucking tear it apart and redesigned it. Ugh. Not really. I mean, sure, it does have Slifer in it, but that's about it.
Well, Slifer is technically a dragon.
So is Winged Dragon of Ra. Which is also in this deck as well.
Which is odd, because Obelisk is technically the only one out of the three of them that isn't a dragon. He's more of a... I guess you could say a warrior or a fiend. Yeah, I'd say fiend.
Either that or beast warrior.
No, I'd say fiend.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me of a demon.
Pretty much is. I mean, you freaking get that fist of his straight to your face, you're a goner.
Pretty much, yeah.
We're doing alright, freaking. We've just been dicking around.
With Yu-Gi-Oh! Freaking Gundam.
Yeah. Was trying to help Taken over here to freaking get the GN Fang racks, but so far no avail. I'll probably have to load up one of my units that has Treasure Hunter on it, which I think all of them do. And then Taken over here's gotta basically have a unit with Treasure Hunter on it.
Yeah, but it sucks like bad.
Mm-hmm. So all I can say is, like, just grind. Why don't you try to grind for the Barbatos units?
That's what I was going to do before you finished up, so...
Okay.
Gonna do that.
Well, do it tomorrow. After this, go to bed. You need some sleep.
Yeah.
Damn, my hand burns like a motherfucker. But the redness is starting to go away. Yeah, okay, so the antibiotic is helping.
Does anybody here know of the Spider-Verse movie?
I know of it, but I've never seen it.
Well, in it, there's this kid named Penny Parker, and everybody automatically assumes she's underage, even though technically
it's just the art style. That's all it is. It's just the art style. But I know what you're saying.
Fall apart, Nurgle. That's for biting me earlier.
I know, Queen. I just freaking killed both your fucking, you know, strongest monsters right now. They would have died anyway.
You're
I mean,
lucky
seriously.
it wasn't. Yeah, but you're lucky it wasn't the frickin'
I know
number
the
101, because then I really would have dealt you damage. I really would have been
Garrett's
pissed.
not gonna like it when he and I start slugging it out.
Oh, seriously, I'll be streaming our me and Kai's slugfest.
You're streaming right now, aren't you?
Hell yeah.
I don't see the point, but okay.
Simple. That way I can go back
Baby.
on my YouTube channel. I can go back and rewatch the matches. That way, if I
You
think,
just love torturing people, don't you?
well, it's not just that. It's also to learn.
Yeah, you shit.
Basically, dude, it's to learn stuff like, okay, what did I do wrong? Where can I make improvements?
He's trying
What
to learn
cards?
how to beat our asses all that much harder.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he just summed it up in.
Studying us like we're lab animals.
Mm-hmm.
He's straight up studying us like we are lab animals. I'm almost offended. Okay?
Alright, have fun, Nessa. Ravioli,
What the fuck was that?
When the
It's from Spider-Verse.
yeah, it's no big deal. Freaking. Well, Nessa, you're more than welcome to watch the
And you know
Slugfest.
what's scary? You know what's scarier is that in her comic books,
Mm-hmm.
she looks fat. Like,
And
I'm
that-
not even kidding you.
Isn't Penny? Isn't Penny Parker Spider-Gwen? No, she's not. She's not Spider-Gwen.
She's
That's
SPDR, or Spider.
okay.
She fights another robot called Ben M.
Alright, dude, get some sleep. But yeah, so that's really all she does. That's kind of disappointing.
Well, there's only one real story about her, unfortunately. I really wish they would expand on it. And then her story just continues in the Spider-Verse. Which, honestly, I've got to say, while I liked her character in the Spider-Verse,
Mm-hmm.
I honestly would have preferred the... I honestly would have preferred the whole... How do I put this? I would have preferred if they kept the robot the same, but still changed her personality to what it is in the Spider-Verse movie.
Mm-hmm.
You don't give a shit, do you?
No, I am genuinely interested in... I mean, sure, the Spider-Verse movie sounds okay. I just don't plan on watching it. Nothing against it, it's just...
Honestly, I didn't expect Ghost Rider to be playing Spider-Man Noir. You know who Ghost Rider is, right? In the live-action films?
Yeah, Nicolas Cage.
He plays Spider-Man Noir.
That's cool.
Wherever I am, the wind follows. And the wind, it smells like rain.
Nicolas Cage is awesome, I have to admit. Freaking, he's definitely one of my favorite actors.
Yeah, but he's got some issues he kind of needs to work out there, you would think?
Yeah, I mean... But seriously, they need to do another Ghost Rider movie with him playing Ghost Rider. I mean, seriously. I just can't see him as anything else.
Yeah.
He was
I know,
literally...
right?
He was handpicked.
Don't get me... Good.
They wrote the story for both movies with Nick Cage. You know, they didn't pick anybody else to be Ghost Rider when they were writing the stories for the films. They literally said, fuck it, we're not picking anybody else. When's Nick Cage available?
Well, see, I've got one problem with that. And the only problem I have with that is the fact that Nicolas Cage, as much as I love the guy, he's kind of got a very unneeded streak as far as the second movie. Like, if they would have just left the second movie out completely, I would have been fine with that.
Well, Marvel Knights chose to do it without anybody's fucking permission, basically, so... If they did, I'd love to be corrected. But... basically, the first live-action movie of Ghost Rider with Nick Cage in it, Marvel...
was great, it was amazing, but
yeah,
the second one just...
Well, the first one was toned down. It was a toned down version of the character. Ghost Rider is actually more unhinged.
Yeah, but then... It's like, don't get me wrong, the whole story behind Ghost Rider, it's meant to be there.
Yeah. And I really liked how they just replaced the alcohol with the candy in the martini glass. I thought that was hilarious.
But when you turn and look at the second movie after that, it's like...
I know.
What were they thinking?
Well, Marvel Studio... Or sorry, not Marvel Studios. Stan Lee... probably wasn't there to tell Marvel Knights to say, hey, cut this shit out. We already have a good movie. We just wanted to continue, you know. If they would...
Well, Stan Lee wasn't in the first one either.
Yeah, he wasn't. Fucking... He should have, but, you know. It was probably during a rough...
Like...
It was probably during a time when that bodyguard was...
There was a bodyguard holding him hostage in his own house.
That's the reason why he died. That dude's the reason why Stan Lee's dead, yeah.
What?
He wouldn't
what
let...
What do you mean?
Okay. Basically, this bodyguard was actually stealing money from Stan Lee's accounts and denying him any sort of social contact. He wasn't even allowed to talk to his own daughter or his employees, his own lawyers. He wasn't even Stan Lee, you know, the fucking bodyguard that was keeping him hostage in his own home, and is one of the main reasons why Stan Lee pretty much chose to give up on life.
His bodyguard sounds like a dick. But Stan Lee didn't kill himself.
I said he gave up on life. I didn't say he killed himself. He was already in... the guy's now... I think he moved on to stealing money from Stan Lee's daughter. But then again, she's not in his will, so...
Dude must be crazy.
He's just pissed now that he's got nobody to fuck with.
I would have fucking beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, Stan Lee was actually getting... Well, he wasn't getting physically beaten, but he was pretty much destroyed mentally. The only times he was able to talk to people was over the phone, and even then, he had to sneak his phone around. So, to put it bluntly, he was sort of in like a living hell.
Can't imagine that. I just can't.
It's a lot like an employee at a nursing home denying. Sure, he was getting fed. Yeah, that's the only time. Like the nurse was the only one, you know, the caregiver was the only one allowed to even go near Stan Lee, and he was sneaking notes and whatnot. He wasn't even allowed to talk to his fucking employees when he needed to work. Turns out the fucking bodyguard cut Stanley's phone line and then fucking redirected it. You know, turned everything off and put it under his name. Even though he had no power whatsoever.
How the fuck can you get away with that legally?
He can't.
Not unless he got permission from somebody in Stan Lee's family.
Which means someone else. Which means someone in Stan Lee's family wanted Stan Lee to
die. Somebody wanted Stan Lee dead, basically. Hell, dude, his own blood was stolen while he was passed out. Money was stolen out of his account, or out of his, you know, bank account, over $2 million. His own blood was stolen. Samples of his hair were stolen.
When was this?
Over the past, was, you know, he died what, late last year? This is all going on last year.
What psychopath would...
Hell, dude, Stan Lee, he wasn't even allowed to read fucking fan letters. He was kept away from everything. And that's what caused him to go in such a deep depression and to basically give up on living. And in all honesty, that's the only thing he probably could have done in his situation. As much as I hate to say that, he already tried putting a restraining order and firing the dude, and it didn't work. In fact, he sued Marvel. He sued Stan Lee and Marvel for wrongful termination and discrimination.
And he got away with that?
Yep. The restraining order was denied fully, and he was forced to be rehired. And so he, from what I understand, I don't think there's any physical damage to Stan Lee. If there was, Josh from Blackwing knows more about it than I do. I couldn't stand to hear anymore, because every time I heard more and more news about Stan Lee, the more it made my blood boil.
Stan Lee... Honestly, I've lost too many favorite freaking actors or people that basically made my life great as it is. Freaking... What's his name? The guy who played Bender on Robots, freaking was the main one of the main characters in Jumanji.
Robin Williams?
I remember his freaking name. Robin Williams. Okay, that guy could make me laugh like no other. And to me, it was such a horrid thing that
He took his own
he
life.
died, and see, here's the thing. He technically didn't.
He was manic depressive.
Supposedly given the wrong meds. Yes, but he was given the wrong meds on purpose by the doctor, according to the doctor, getting it for better treatment. But they found out that doing what the doctor did actually forced him into a deeper depression and forced him to kill himself. I mean, it's like you can't just experiment on someone just because of the fact you think it might be better.
In motherfucking deed.
Oh, I could have freaking O-code you. If I had used its effect, I could have O-code you.
Well, I lost anyway. I didn't get a single fucking monster.
Seriously?
Yep.
I don't even know what to say to this. Just lucky, I guess.
George, just lucky, I guess.
Alright. seriously though, it just makes you wonder what's going on in our world when we can't even keep people that keep actors that we enjoy alive because people are so money hungry and fucking sick that.
Well, you need to tell that to the to, you know, actual people with power, because us plebeians do, you know, us peasants have no say whatsoever.
I don't think anybody gives a shit.
Exactly. Not a single person in our in the world gives a shit about anybody but themselves and how to make their fucking bank accounts fatter. Ugh.
Yeah, but see, if I was... Well, okay, I can't say this because I absolutely hate our president, and honestly, I think I would strangle him rather than fucking give him a chance, but honestly, if it were up to me, freaking, I would actually take the job. I wouldn't go after any of the money for... If it was for an actor I knew and I liked, I would take the job. I wouldn't go after any of their money, but just...
Make sure they were alive, you know.
Yeah, and make sure that they were taken care of like they're supposed to be.
Well, some actors don't take care of themselves. After all, look at Lindsay Lohan.
There's a difference between the actors not taking care of themselves and people trying to take advantage of them and not taking care of them like they're supposed to be.
Yeah, you're right about that.
If the actor doesn't want to take care of themselves, I can't really do anything about that. I was gonna die anyways.
We both just got bad draws.
At least on the first one, we were pretty evenly matched.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Ancient Gear Beast.
How'd you get Ancient Gear Beast?
I went to Alexis Rose and purchased a fucking, you know, card shop.